My house is absolutely bloody chock full of smart speakers. There's one in nearly every main room, but there isn't a single Alexa or Google speaker amongst them. And if I'm being completely honest, I barely use the ones I do have for voice control at all. The main thing I use mine for, besides playing music, is pause the TV so I don't have to reach for the remote. Peak laziness, completely life-changing. So let's talk about why I have a problem, personally, with Amazon Echo and Google Home, and I'll talk about what I use instead. No coffee break today. This one's a massive quickie because I'm super busy right now. If you remember my Discord, you'll know why. If not, then watch this space and you'll find out in a few weeks. Or just come join the Discord and have a poke around. It's also the reason why I'm outside right now, because I can't exactly be in my studio at the moment. Anyway, on with the video. 1. Your voice takes a world tour to turn a bulb on. I mentioned this in last week's video, but it bears repeating here. When you ask an Echo or a Nest speaker to turn a light on, that request doesn't go from the speaker straight to the light. It goes from the speaker, out of your house, across the internet to a data center somewhere, gets processed, comes all the way back to switch on a bulb that's 4 feet from the speaker. Now, most of the time this happens so quickly that you'll never even really notice, but it means 3 things are now true about your house. 1, if your internet goes down, your control goes with it. 2, if their servers are having a bad day, same result, and there's not much you can do about it. And 3, the big one, the whole thing only keeps working for as long as the company feels like running it. And on that note, let's look at the track record, because Google has a well-documented habit of taking products out behind the shed, and they've already stripped features out of the Assistant. Amazon has started putting the smarter version of Alexa behind a subscription paywall. The deal changes whenever they fancy, and your only vote is to throw it in the bin. Also, frankly, I don't really want Amazon and Google to have that much data about me, because their servers are the ones doing the processing. They can build up a surprisingly detailed profile about me, including my daily routine. I really don't want any company to have that level of knowledge about me, if I'm being frank. 2, that speaker's a shop front, not a servant. The second reason, and this one's kind of specific to Amazon and Google, ask yourself why these things are so cheap. You can regularly pick up an Echo Dot for less than the price of a takeaway, although that says more about the price of takeaways these days. Why is a kebab the expensive option now? Sorry, lost the plot there for a second. Amazon is not a charity. That speaker is cheap because it's not the product, it's the shop window. Its job is to sit in your kitchen and make it as frictionless as possible for you to buy things, to subscribe to things, and of course to feed usage data back to the mothership. That's why you get the "by the way" at the end of so many of your requests to it. It's not your assistant telling you a useful feature you might have missed. It's the sales rep living rent-free in your countertop. To be clear, I don't necessarily think there's someone in a warehouse listening to me set a 5-minute egg timer, although it may be being used to train AI, but that's another story. But that's not the objection here anyway. The objection is that the device's incentives are not mine. I want my smart home working for me, not for a retailer's quarterly numbers. So what about the speakers I do have? The speakers dotted around my house are Apple HomePod Minis. And now, I'm not saying that Apple are the good guys here. They're absolutely still a part of the evil empire. They're a $1 trillion company, and Siri still phones home like the rest of them. But there is a difference in degrees here. Apple's business model is selling me private, overpriced hardware, not selling me. They're notably more privacy focused than Amazon and Google, and crucially, there's no "by the way, would you like to buy some batteries" at the end of a timer, which makes it the least bad option for the jobs I give it. And that's the actual point, the jobs I give it, because even the speakers I quite like don't get to touch anything critical. They still need the internet for most of what they do, and I refuse to build a house that stops working when my broadband has a headache and just isn't feeling it right now. So the HomePods get the fun jobs, music and pausing the TV when I can't bother to find the remote. If Apple turns Siri off tomorrow, I'd lose precisely nothing that matters, because it's entertainment, not infrastructure. So what does actually run my house? The brain of my home is Home Assistant, running on my own hardware, in my own house. Every device routes through that, so nothing depends on a company staying interested, and nothing important breaks when the internet does. And the thing that surprises people is that the replacement for voice control mostly isn't voice at all, it's buttons and automations. The hallway lights don't need asking, the blinds don't need asking. Be honest about what you actually use a voice assistant for. Timers, weather, lights, maybe a shopping list. For most of those, the voice is not necessarily the best option anyway. Announcing "turn the living room lights on" to an empty room and hoping it didn't hear lamps is not the future. A button is faster, and automation is faster still because you never ask at all. A good smart home shouldn't need you to narrate your life at it, it should just get on with it. And for the rare times voice is genuinely the right tool, Home Assistant has a local voice option now. Running on your own server, no internet required. That's a video for another day though. I've never even tested one myself, but I heard the general view of those devices is mixed and that it's not quite there yet. So this is the bit where I'm not your dad. If you've got an Echo and you love it, keep it. And for people with mobility or vision impairment issues, voice control isn't a gimmick, it's kind of the whole point. I'm not telling you you've done it wrong. My mum and dad have had an Echo for years. In fact, they've got a few of them. And yeah, right, lately they've kind of been getting annoyed at the adverts, but for a long time now, many, many years, they've had them with absolutely any issue and they still love them. All I'm saying is know what the deal is. With Amazon and Google, you're not buying an assistant. You're buying a salesperson and, let's face it, a spy, and giving it access to your home. Personally, I'd rather own my own assistant than be assisted by an advertiser. If a proper, locally controlled voice assistant is something that's interesting to you, let me know in the comments or let me know on the Discord. If enough of you are interested, I'll go buy a Home Assistant local voice control thing and see if it's any good. Right, I need to go get back to my big project. Ta-ra.